Hey, it's Andre Saucy, and I want to show you a way to deal with anxiety during this holiday season. I'm gonna show you what to do to actually minimize the chances of getting really anxious during these family gatherings and other holiday parties. I'm also gonna show you what to do to actually bring the anxiety back down to something that you can manage if for some reason you do get anxious. Just a few years ago, I had very mixed feelings about this time of year. On one hand, I always loved unwrapping the gifts, enjoying the Christmas decorations and listening to cheesy Christmas tunes. But on the other hand, I used to dread family gatherings and all the hoopla that comes with it, There was always someone who had to ask me questions that I'd rather avoid answering. Questions like, are you still single? And are you seeing someone? These kind of questions always made me feel uncomfortable, and the answer was always kind of embarrassing. Well, at least it made me feel embarrassed. Now, today it's very different. I no longer have mixed feelings about holiday season. I'm no longer anxious around my friends, around my relatives, family members, and my business partners. And I'm actually looking forward to Christmas parties because I know that I'm going to have fun. So, here's my first tip on what you can do to actually stay calm and minimize your chances of getting anxious. Stay focused on the present moment. Once you're at a party, or at the family gathering, try to stay focused on the present moment. This is really critical if you want to prevent your anxiety from kicking in. You're only alive when you're in a present moment. That's probably why it's called the present, a gift. You see, when you're not in a present moment, you're thinking about the past or you're thinking about the future. And in either case, you don't have much influence over it. This means that you're losing your energy on things that you can't control. And what you can't control actually makes you stressed out. And of course, consequently, the anxiety kicks in. So basically, you're thinking about the future, starts your anxiety and makes it escalate the more you think about the future and what might happen. When you have social anxiety disorder, you tend to think about the future a lot, and you tend to think about it in a very negative way. Usually you think about all the bad things that could happen to you. You think about the consequences of something going wrong, and you think about losing your face because of doing something embarrassing, right? Basically, you're creating all these negative scenarios in your mind, that don't help you with your anxiety in any way. These automatic negative thoughts only make it harder and harder to cope and to stay in this social situation. So the best thing that you could do to prevent your anxiety to get a hold on you is to stay in the present moment. And one way to do it is to focus on other people and what they have to say. And don't think about what you're going to say in return. Just stay focused on them and be genuinely interested in what they have to say. You see, when you're truly interested in another person, your focus stays on them and your responses come out naturally. So pick a person you feel most comfortable talking to and talk to that person. Have a so-called safe person that you can talk to when you feel like your anxiety is going to kick in. And then stick to that person if needed. Now, what about when the anxiety kicks in spite of doing everything that you can to prevent it? Well, the most obvious thing to do right now is to actually focus back on the present moment. Find that safe person and start talking to him or her. In case that person is unavailable, or in case that talking with that person doesn't help, go to a safe place. Now, this is usually the toilet. However, it can be any other place where you actually feel safe. If this is a family gathering and you're at your own home, then your room might actually be your safe place. Anyway, it doesn't matter what place it is, as long as you actually have one. So, when the anxiety kicks in full time, go to that safe place and use a simple breathing technique to calm down. And here's how you do it. Breathe in through your nose and while doing so, count to 4. Then hold your breath for a second or two and then exhale through your mouth for another 4 seconds. Wait for a second or two and then repeat the process. Do 6 to 8 breathing cycles. This breathing technique should help you decrease your anxiety when you need to. Now, there's one more technique that's even better than calm breathing, because it helps you decrease the level of anxiety even faster, and you can do it in front of other people without them even realizing what you're doing, It would make this video way too long if I wanted to explain it here, so I've actually made a separate video where I show you exactly what you can do. You can find it on my blog, where I also share other tips on how to overcome social anxiety. You can just click on this link here, and it will take you there. Or you can click the link in the description below this video. Now, deep breathing works very well, but you cannot do it in social situations without getting noticed. Sure, you can always do it anyway, because it really doesn't matter what other people think of you. But sometimes you just don't want other people to see that you're anxious, right? Well, that's when you can use this other technique that I show you in this other video that is on my blog. So feel free to check it out. This video that is on my blog is also free for you to watch.